Well, it looks like the ad's done, I guess. So I guess we can go ahead and get started. Well, thank you, everybody, who's here right now. Wow, I'm off to a great start, apparently. But yeah, so what are we doing today? Last time we did some liquid light stuff. At the end of the liquid light stuff, we took some watercolor paper to pick up the patterns and see if that did anything neat. And it did do some stuff that looked pretty neat. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some pictures. Now, we could scan it, but that's not as fun, and I think it's also just neat to see the process of some of this stuff. So we're going to take some pictures. We're going to start with a pancake lens, just to kind of get an overall view of like what do the pictures look like. Then once we get through everything and we figure out, hey, what's the stuff that looks cool, what's the stuff that maybe doesn't, then we're going to go ahead and actually do some macro shots, get really deep in there, get some really focused stuff. So we'll see how it goes, and there's going to be some finicking around as we do stuff. Oh, the pancake lens, that is the the short one. That's the 16 to 50. So it'd be like your like kit lens. But it's called a pancake because if you bring the focal length all the way back, it's like really flat. Yeah. All right, cool. So let's actually flip over. We're going to go into... Actually, let me double check that side real quick. All right, yep, that looks not terrible. So we're going to go ahead and flip over. And here we are. And I think I'm right down here in the corner. Yeah, perfect. Cool. All right, so again, this is what we're doing. So this is a, well, first of all, hi, camera over here. This is a piece of watercolor paper that I ripped and dipped into the bowls of the water dye and the oil dye. And I'm just going to take some pictures. Now, what you're seeing on your screen is different from what's being captured by the camera, because I'm keying the camera a little bit, so it might look a little funkier on your end. But let's go ahead, see what this looks like. We're going to pull this back a little bit, maybe go this way. And I'm going to do one shot just so that we can see sort of the whole thing all together. So that's one. Then we're going to flip it over. Do the same thing. Really, this is also just partly to see, like, hey, what are the cool bits? What are the bits that we're going to want to get some use out of? And let's see if we, just to make sure we're not messing this up too much, because it's actually a longer exposure time than I was anticipating. Let's go to here. Let's do that. All right, so we don't need it to be that fast. We can go to, like, I don't know, like a 15th, 20th of a second. I mean, we're on a, like, stand, so we don't necessarily need to be super short. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Oh, that's as far as we can zoom in, actually. Okay, that's fine. All right, well, I do like this one, so we're going to go to the next one. And we're just going to be doing this all night. So, end goal of this whole process is to get some things that look cool. Then what I would like to do in a future stream, maybe next stream, we'll see, is go through, edit everything, crop stuff, and then we can then take that, run that through the glitched stuff that we have. Really just doing making a whole bunch of art. This one looks neat. Checking this side. Now when I snap it, does it also... Oh, that's neat. It goes blank for a second. That's fun. But I like that so far. Let's also just double check how these look. Okay, not too bad. Lighting's a little bit different, but that's okay. But I'm a really big fan of the stand here, because it gives you a lot of flexibility with how you're actually placing your camera. I'm going to skip this one. I was listening to this earlier. There's like a weird vocal thing in the background that wasn't in the original, and I don't like it, so we're going to skip that one. There we go. Okay. And we're going to take this out of the shot. There we go. All right, so did I take a picture? Oh, whatever. I'm going to take another picture. We're going to flip this over. We're going to take another. But what I like about this is, due to how things ended up getting saturated, like, you have a lot of depth with, like, hey, you have your darker bits down here, sort of transitioning into the lighter bits up here so that it looks like there's light coming from this way and shadows back here. So I think that's neat. Oh, looks like a horse in the bottom left corner of that. Oh, you mean this one? I didn't take a picture of this side. Or you mean this one? Or was it a previous one? A previouser one. Oh, this one. Yeah, it does kind of look like a horse. Then you've got, like, the... I don't know, I like when there's, like, some, like, Sato depth, because you've got, like, darker stuff on one side. And also, all this was just completely random, because I was just dipping the paper into the bowls of oil, colored oil, and water. But that's a nice one. We're going to come back to that. Alright, and as you can also tell, I literally just ripped the paper, so I think that adds a nice little bit of texture to it. We're going to zoom in on you a little bit, because you're pretty small. Go. And let's flip it to the other side. Not maybe as much with this one, but that's okay. But believe it or not, we have a whole bunch of these to get through. This one I'm a big fan of, because on this side, you've got, like, the swirliness. And keep in mind, again, this was just liquid light stuff with watercolor paper. And you got this side that looks kind of moldy. I was pretty concerned doing this, because I wasn't sure how... like, you know, it was oil that was drying into this, and it's like, would it still be slick? Would it be fine? And, like, it ended up, like, being... at least, like, the paper itself is fine. I do feel like the textures ended up either getting, like, as it went along, like, this one, textures ended up either getting too muted or too saturated. So, like, one that'd be too saturated would be, like, this one, maybe. Check the other side, like, really dark spots, but again, like, you know, all randomness, all good. We're gonna go back to you. Zoom out a little bit, there we go. Zoom in. I'm gonna assume this is Fire Emblem. Let's check the other side. And one thing that I'm looking to explore is how far I can, like, stretch one bit of material. Like, we're on sort of step 2 of, like, first step was the liquid light stuff. Now we have some stills of things. But it's also sort of seeing how far I can push what people would be interested in seeing. Because, like, I think this is interesting personally. But then would going the next step of, alright, let me edit these into something. But then that's more of just like the, I don't know. It's still process stuff. But I don't know how, like, interesting. Like, hey, let me open all these in Affinity and crop them and adjust the color. Let me get that out of the shadow out of the way. Hold off on that one. Another one here as we went along. Well, so we had a green bowl, a red bowl, and a blue bowl. And I ended up mixing them together. So this one I think was one, like, a little bit of red, a little bit of blue. Could have also been as I was holding stuff and my fingers were covered in ink. So it's another possibility. Possibility, if you will. But I was also thinking like collaging these would be neat, but it's also like, I think these are just kind of neat in of themselves. Like, not saying it's a masterwork of art of anything, but yeah, I just think it's cool. And not to say that collaging wouldn't also be cool, but it's kind of like, I don't know if it's like an anti-scarcity mindset of like, I don't want to lose stuff. Now, fortunately, in this modern day and age, we can just like make a scan of something and print it. But then I run into the whole like, do I want to use the paper to do that, or do I just want to be wrapped up in my head thinking of the things that I could do, but I'm too anxious to do? Hey, here's another fun thing I could do. I could just blab at stream about my anxieties. That also works too, right? This one's neat. Well, we have random video game music playing behind. How's the mix, by the way? Am I above the music? Can the music come down a bit? This looks neat. Zoom in a little bit. Oh, the mix is good. Thank you. This one is neat. Get this in the middle. I think this is Final Fantasy X. It feels like Final Fantasy X. Can zoom all the way in, but I'd rather either get the table or no table at all, you know? Alright, we are working our way through. I was also thinking of using the hand scanner, but then it's also like, it ends up going over like this, and I don't know how interesting that is, but I mean, that might be fun to see. But I'd be going through each individual thing. You know, it also kind of reminds me of, there's a brand of film camera called Lomo, or Lomography, and they have like the Polaroid like type stuff, but they have a certain camera where you can like get film on the sprockets, and there's a certain look to it. Working our way through. The lighter ones, I think, were when I was running out of the liquid, but it has its own particular look to it, which I think is neat. This camera's doing a good job with the white balancing, too. Alright, let's get everything in here. Working our way through. I'm enjoying this so far. Hope y'all are too. And we'll scoot that a little bit this way. Don't know how I feel about the shadow, but something depth. I don't know what I'm talking about. Who does? Alright, so here's one where I feel like it got a little too saturated. Like if we could zoom in a little bit. Like you have this bit over here where it's got like some motion in it, but then it's just like blue and green, which is fine. It's got sort of a construction papery sort of look to it. We're going to do this piece, this piece. The other side, though, I think looks a little bit more interesting. Yeah, it is. Alright, so this side, you know, I think worked out a little better because you have more of the like texture of the liquid coming through. But like this also, you know, it's more like an underwater sort of. There we go. I mean, I think it'll be a lot more interesting with the macro lens, or with the scanography, as it were. Alright, let's do this next one, and that's going to leave us with one more piece that's a big green piece, and then we have the reds left. Then from there, we're going to go through, see if we can't either do any macro stuff, or maybe we'll do the hand scanner for a bit. Have some fun. I meant to use that with the liquid light stuff, but I forgot to replace the batteries. But, you know, we're going to be doing this more. Though it might be a while before we get back to the liquid light stuff, because what I'd like to do is kind of rotate between a bunch of different mediums. And I don't know what I'm building towards, but if anyone has any suggestions on, like, what I could use these for, I am all ears. Alright, so that just leaves us with the reds. I will say I am enjoying doing this a bit more than, like, the music streams where I'm not actually saying anything, because I can blab. And it's also, like, at a certain point with the sounds that I make, it's, like, having some context around some of the things that are happening or the things I'm doing might make things a little bit more enjoyable. You know, this is actually, I like this one a little bit more because the reds are showing up a little bit more in the camera. So, yeah, okay, it's not too bad. Oh, oh, you like it when I blab? Oh, well, thank you, I like it when you blab too. Also, what is this? Is this Final Fantasy? Oh, it's, Earthbound. It's like, it doesn't exactly sound like that. Okay. But yeah, the reds are coming through a little bit more. I think that'll work better. It's... with the cyanotype stuff that I did a while back, the original scans that I took, or like the original, like, pieces that I made were all pretty, desaturated. But with the magic, I shouldn't get my hand in this. With the magic of image editing, I made it look a little bit more saturated. It could also, might help, using the same background might help with, like, batch processing, maybe. I don't know. I mean, they're all different sizes, so they're all going to get cropped in different ways. Let me zoom in a little bit. Did I get the backside? No, I did not. It's all blending in together. You do the same thing enough and everything blends in. Forget people's names and their faces and what their problems are. At least I do sometimes. Thank you, Pokemon. Is this Banjo-Kazooie? Nope. Also Earthbound. This also sounds kind of Stardew-y, but I think Stardew is also going for, like, sort of vintage video game OST already with the sounds. Okay, believe it or not, that is all of the sort of pancake shots. You know what, let's do something silly. We're gonna hand scan these. I'm gonna stretch for a second. Ugh, sorry, I'm like half hunched over. I'm like an upright shrimp. Ugh. All right. So I'm trying. This is all a new thing. I had this piece of glass that I've had forever that came from a picture frame that I got, like, as I was clearing out stuff from my parents. There was this picture frame they didn't use, and I was like, I'm going to use this for something. I'm going to put a really neat picture in here, and I'm going to feel really good about it. And I ended up not putting a picture in there, but I took the glass, and I'm using it for this. I don't know if I can I get this in here? Well, if I can get this in here, I can put this here, and then I can scan that way. Okay, that works. If I can turn on the scanner. Okay, main screen turn on. Alright, let's try it. But reason why I'm using the glass is that it makes it easier to get over the texture of things. And then you can kind of go around like this. Now, we're not going to know how it actually... Oh, it errored. Okay. Means it didn't like that. Means it stopped. But if you see, if I can focus the camera, we have one. So it made a picture. Okay, so let's do the next one. Now, one thing I am a little worried about is the fact that there's all this paper behind it, but, you know, or the, not paper, the, tablecloth. Let's make it a little weird, going back and forth. But again, the reason for the glass is because I want a smooth surface to go back and forth over. Because when I've done this before, I didn't have a smooth surface, and then it would end up stopping more often than not. Alright, next one. Oh, you know what? I'm not even doing the back of them. No, you can't really see this. I need to put this in a better position. For the next one... Oh, I didn't like that. Oh, well. Whatever. Whichever. Alright, let's throw that over here. You go there. Okay. Oh, I gotta stretch. Oh, okay. So we got normal, and then we're gonna fuck it up a little bit. But I'd like to get more comfortable using this. I had a really neat set of pictures I took where I was using the hand scanner on a CRT that had a video synth going, and it ended up looking pretty neat. So I'd like to stretch that technique as much as I can. But there's other folks that have done really neat scanography stuff. Like, I saw one where someone took like a printer and turned it into like a massive camera, which is pretty cool to see. There was another person I saw who was doing like watercolor on it, then they would like make scans of it. So, a lot of cool stuff you can do, different mediums. It's just what are you putting it towards? I don't know, I like the idea of taking a thing, putting it in different contexts, and then seeing what the intersections between things are. I guess that's why I'm doing this. You know, I did the liquid light stuff for the first time. I'm photographing the pictures. I'm doing the hand scanning. Or photographing the prints. No, I need to sit. This is too much. I'm sitting. My back hurt. Alright, I'm gonna get some wood here. That hurt. No, it didn't. I'm being silly. Okay, so next one, we're going to also do a scanned hander. Scanned hander. Go here. Now, me putting it in the camera is really just so that y'all can see it. Because it's one thing for me to see it. And we're going to go over and fuck it up. Oh, that actually works a little better. Also trying out different techniques. Now, I'm sure this is the most not uninteresting thing someone could stream, of using a hand scanner on little watercolor prints, but this is what I'm doing with my time, and what, if you're here, your time too. I'm gonna try and move it this way. That actually works a little... Oh, it stopped. Okay, so you do need to move it. We're learning here. So you need to have some kind of combination. of rolling it. Otherwise, it's like, oh, you didn't actually need me. So, okay, that is good to know. Would really suck if I accidentally broke this massive piece of glass. I might cry. Maybe not like cry, but like, you know, that'd be like, hey, actually, we're stopping for today. Okay, we are like, how far are we? Alright, it's like 7:25. Alright, we are making our way through. Might need to take a quick pause to get the, what am I talking about? The macro lens. We can get really deep in the details. We'll get that knocked out, no problem. No problem. Alright. This one, then we got to do the reverse side of it, but we're going to get this first. I'm curious to see again how the tablecloth shows up, because that's going to be something to have to crop out, or it's going to get mixed up. But, you know, through the magic of image editing, we can turn it into something neat, hopefully. We'll see. Alright, next one, side A. I'm almost half wondering if I should hold off, if I should not do, like, the image editing on stream. Because it's like, I don't want to do stuff that's super dry, but I do want to do stuff that's, like, a part of the process. Because it is a part of the process, but then it's like, at what point is the thing in the process just something that I need to do on my own? If that makes sense. Like, would people I mean, I don't know. It's kind of a question of, like, is it something that I would want to do? Is it something that people would enjoy watching? But also, is it, how much prep work do I need to do between streams? Because if it's a lot of prep work, then that turns into, like, well, maybe it's not something I want to do. Which then kind of stops the whole process. So, I don't know. Alright, side A, let's do side B. We're just going to see what that turns out. I think I'm saving all of these as JPEGs. Yes, JPEGs. Cool. Well, then that means we can bend them later. Because it's... You could also save things as PDFs, like if you're scanning a page or something. But that makes it a little harder. Because then you have to, like, drop it into Affinity and export the thing as a JPEG. It kinda sucks. Back and forth. Yeah, I mean, the hand scanning is kind of a crapshoot, but... Because I don't know what it's going to look like until I actually take this off the card. But it's going a lot better than I thought it would, as far as from a process perspective. Yeah, there was someone I saw on Instagram who was doing a similar sort of thing, but instead they had the hand scanner on a TV, and they were just scrolling through a bunch of stuff on the TV. I think they were scrolling through Instagram, and they got a bunch of, like, weird connected videos as images into one giant image. It was really neat. Alright, we're working our way through. Almost done. I'm kind of liking the smeary ones a little bit more. They kind of remind me of a Starry Night a little bit. Oh, didn't like that. Oh well. Did I get this other side? It's... I cannot tell. At a certain point, it all looks the same. So whatever it is... Let's try a different pattern. I also don't know if, like, when it errors, it's like, no, fuck you, I'm not gonna capture anything. Okay, alright, so we are... more than halfway through, I think, of that. Alright, so now we have more of like the smeary one. Well, I mean, they're all kind of... They're all smeary. What am I saying? Hey, there we go. I was trying to pick up the glass. Put it on the glass. Alright. So we're going to try going this way. We have a leitmotif. The same idea, just put into a different context musically. Because you're expressing the same concept, but in a different context. It's a leitmotif. It's art. Alright. The dogs are looking at me like, what are you doing talking to yourself? And they don't know who... I'm talking to the internet. Yeah, banana. Yeah, little dog. Would you like to say anything to the people of the internet? Thank you, bud. Alright, so that's that. So the reason why I'm keying this a little bit is in the camera, there is a... If you're in photo mode, you don't have clean HDMI, meaning you end up with like a bunch of the display things on the camera and your video out. Now if you... Yeah, don't tempt her. If you switch into video mode, you can get rid of that and you get more of a clean out, which we were using for the liquid light stuff. But what I had to do is crop the video a little bit to get rid of, like, it's got like the shutter speed and the other stuff like on the outside, like as a border. So I cropped that out. Oh, didn't like that. Okay. Alright, we're gonna flip over. Another neat thing with the hand scanner is that it'll just randomly crop stuff, whether I want it to or not, so I'll end up with like, hey, this little chunk of something, but I don't know what it's actually a part of. So you end up with like a 100 by 1000 pixel image. So I think it's less like, I don't want things to fight with me, but I want, if I express a certain level of control over it, if it responds in ways I'm not expecting, then that's generally okay, depending on what that thing is. Like, if it just randomly stops working, then no, that's not cool. But, like, with the glitch cameras, or, like, the ICM stuff, it's like, I have a vehicle that I am directing, and I am putting in a direction, and whatever it does in that direction, great, as long as it's moving, and I have enough control over it where it's not like I'm just pushing a button and then it gives me a thing, you know? Because then it's like, where's the agency? Where is the... Well, I guess, where is the artistry in... Or what... Wow, I'm getting really pretentious. But, like, with this stuff, like, with the liquid light stuff, a lot of it was to chance. You could argue that if it's not something where you are, like, painstakingly creating, is it something that you made? But it is still something that I made. You know? Next one. Working our way through it. This could be a fun way to collage of, like, taking a bunch of these, layering them on top of each other. Could do a hand scanner stream. That'd be really awful. Hi, banana. Okay, we got that. Did I get the other side? I think it is really hard to tell. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Oop, ads are starting soon. Well, gonna keep going. Working our way through it. Alright, we have one. How many left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Alright, let's speedrun this. Maybe not that fast. I initially thought, oh, I'll just scan it normally and not futz with it. But if we have the technology, right? Ooh, this is interesting. So keeping it moving while still over the same spot. We'll see what that looks like. It might be kind of like a granular looking, like... I forget... There's like a certain like piece of video technology where it's like... Oh, slit scanning. Yeah, slit scanning. Where it's like the same little bit of video, but at like different chunks. So you're kind of like granularizing your video, if that makes sense. Different chunks at different points in time. Well, doing this with video would be neat, but you'd need to have a video source that's like that's flat, and then you would need to. It'd also need to be like in such a way where you could easily move like a clear piece of material underneath to accommodate the hand scanner, so that you can keep it moving. We are at 41. That is more than I've typically taken on here. Can only assume this is Earthbound. Depending on who we know that is streaming, we might go a little longer, but we'll see. Alright, are you good? Thank you. Because I'd like to, you know, raid into people, just so we can kind of keep things moving. Oh, fucking come on. Try it again. There. Not in tune. And that's okay. I can sing out of tune to the people of the internet if I want to. They might not enjoy it, which is maybe why I shouldn't do it. Just gonna see what that looks like. Oh, didn't like that. I hope, what I'm still not sure about is if it, like, kills the picture. Oh, well, thank you, dear. Yours, too. Now for my favorite song from any Final Fantasy game. And, like, there aren't many other songs like this in the game, which is kind of a disappointment. But it's got, like, the granular, not granular, but, like, the sort of choppy samples on the right side. Maybe if I got this a little more in frame, it'd be a little more interesting. I don't know if interesting is the right word. Like, you can better see what I'm doing. What I'm really hoping is that these all just don't look like garbage, but one person's collage is another person's. I don't know. There's something there. So I gotta ask, how have you? So for folks that don't have any context, myself and Miss Elongate are a part of a Discord where a friend of ours has made a insane AI chatbot that is not, like, is run on local stuff, so I feel less weird about it. But it's, like, such an asshole to me. Like, I try and, like, reach out to it, and, like, I try and, like, send it a message that's, like, polite, and it just responds with, like, you don't fucking get it, you don't get anything, blah, blah, blah. And I'm getting mad about a fucking chatbot, which is the insane thing to me. I was playing up my disappointment in that thread. I wasn't actually, you know. The more ways I can be an antagonist, I'm all for. Oh, I didn't like that. Okay, that's fine. Quick scan. Damn it. Let's try it again. Savannah, what do you want? You're okay. You are A-okay, doggy. You're okay, doggy dool. You're okay. Yeah, how are my accents? Alright, so last one to hand scan. Then we're like, alright, 741. Like a third of the way through the stream. We've gotten through like, no, 2/3 of the way through the stream. And we're on the just finishing up with the third thing that we were gonna try. So I'm gonna let that turn off. We're gonna switch to the regular, well, to the intro screen real quick. I really need a BRB or something, because I would like to change the lens. So we're going to do that real quick. I'm going to put us in, let's do this. So it's not technically starting, I'm just putting it in a different view real quick, because I am going to swap the lens, and then I got to swap the position of it. And as much as I want to show people, you know, my art practice, I don't know if seeing me futz with a stand is really everyone's idea of going behind the scenes. Savannah, what do you want? You were just OUT. You were just outside. You're good. You were just outside. Just outside. Alright. Let me get this on here. Part of the reason why I switched to the other view is because the last time I did this, took me forever to figure out how to get the lens on. Alright, there we go. Let me take the glass off, that might help. And let me put this back in position. Oh, there we go, I like that. Now we're seeing like the texture of the paper. Well, it helps if you can actually see it. So we're going to switch back out of studio mode, back into here. Okay, so what we're looking at, we are using the macro lens. I don't get to use this that often, and I'm excited that we get to. So this is, here's my hand. For those that don't know what a macro lens, here's my finger. It is, lets you get really high detail when you're zoomed, when you're like a lot closer, because with a regular camera lens there's like a certain distance at which you're too close and you can't get in focus, but macro lenses uses, now I don't know like the behind the scenes, but it has like a certain amount of like magnification, so you can get closer and still be in focus. And this is technically not the right size. I'm not using the right size camera for it. I would need a full frame camera, but fuck it. I think it still looks cool. And it's not like it's like pictures aren't going to look good, but they're going to be smaller than if I were to use like a full frame. And that's not like a thing I need to worry about anytime soon. It's just like in the future. If I decide to. Might be fun. But then also if I'm using this. You know, it's not like I'm doing like professional photography or anything. I'm just making weird art and using this as a tool. Go figure. Oh, that looks neat. A little bit of edge on the side. Alright, next one. Alright. And again, for folks that may just be hopping in or catching the stream, we're doing some macro photography of some watercolor prints that we use to sort of capture the detail from a liquid light thing we were doing last time. And I am a really big fan of finding different ways to combine different mediums in ways that both expand on the original material but then take it into a new direction. It's also like I have a thing about not wasting stuff, which then keeps me from feeling comfortable doing stuff in the first place. So this is one way that I'm combating that. Well, it's like both not wanting to waste stuff, but then also not wanting to lose stuff. So it's like, I can't do the thing in the first place because I feel like I'm wasting materials, but then I don't want to mess with the thing I made in the first place, so then I end up not doing anything with that. I don't know. This would be a really good conversation for a therapist. Over a little bit. Focus. Focus. No, Savannah. You're fine. You want to go out? Alright, one sec. My dog is being a jerk. Dog is being a jerk. Big old jerk. Working our way upward. I do think it's capturing more of the paper texture than maybe the... Or, I mean, the texture of the paper is definitely a part of it, because that's the medium. Yeah, macro lenses are also fun because on like a telephoto or like a pancake lens, you have sort of like a wider range of focus. But on a macro lens, like, it's much smaller, so I could move this like a little higher up, even a little lower, and all of a sudden it's like out of focus. Big guy, give me a moment. The big dog wants to go out. It's gonna be fun to go through. Alright, so that's next one down. We're gonna jump to this one. Alright, I need to put the other dog out. There we go. Alright. Nope, you all are down there. Okay, now you're here. So, I don't know where I was with this. Oh, I think I just put it down. Okay. I'm trying to be systematic about it, but it's hard when I can't tell where I am in the first place. That looks neat. Another thing I could do, because there are quite a few of these to work through, I could do like a chunk today of these, edit them before the next one, finish the other part next time. Stop drifting! There we go. Again, we're just doing some macro shots. I feel like I'm missing like the bit of texture on the side, but it's like I'm then getting the tablecloth in it, which, you know, is fine. Tablecloth looks pretty. Alright, we got a little bit of time left. I don't know if we're gonna get through everything, but also that's fine. And I want to make sure, you know, not like I want to stretch this out, but I want to make sure that I'm working the shot, so to speak. Getting as much good stuff as I can, so I can do more art to it. There we go. Now we are in focus. Foci. That looks neat. Focus. I can't tell what I'm looking at. I can't tell what I'm looking at either. Is it in focus? I don't... Stay in focus, please. There we go. Just like the most average focus, please. Can you do that for me? Thank you. There's like a little bit of blurriness, but I feel like that also adds a little bit of depth of like, it looks closer to you. Oh my god. Alright, dog wants to come in. These dogs. Now in like a minute, Big Dog's gonna be like, oh, I wanna come in now, please let me in. Or Little Dog's gonna be like, oh, I wanna go back outside because he's outside. This is like every day. Every single day. Every single day. And I'm also like right next to the back door in the kitchen, so it's like, I'm the one here. Dog, you wanted to come in. You asked me to come in. You are the one who asked me to drop everything that I was doing. In the smallest detail. At a certain point, it's just green. Some interesting textures here, though. Could use this as like a, you know, take out the color and use it as like a, just a little layer in a digital thing. Like a digital collage or something. Oh, get some focus, please. Thank you. There's nothing there. Okay. And I think we got the other side. Oh, all right. Other dog, one sec. All the time with these dogs. All the time. Okay. I think I took pictures of this one. Alright, I think we're done here. Are there any that we want to skip? I'm happy to skip that one. This one. I like the distortion on this bass. What song is this? Oh, it's Tekken. Okay. I usually don't listen to this one, which is why it sounded new. Alright, we're working through some stuff. There's a lot more that I want to take some pictures of. So I'm wondering if maybe we'll save the rest for next time. I'll do some homework in the meantime. But I just don't want to, like, say, okay, I did this piece, we're going to the next thing. Like, we're not really on a timetable or anything. Which, you know, actually we're going to put the whole pile of stuff here. Alright. Oh, focus, come on. So, like, that's kind of... Actually, that looks neat. There we go. I'll take it. So we're going through these to see which ones I want to actually take pictures of. Or which ones am I done with? Alright, so I've got a set here of a bunch I want to do stuff with. Or that I want to do the same thing with. But I think if I give myself more time next week to get through the rest of these, we'll get stuff that looks interesting, we'll get more stuff. In the meantime, I can continue... I can work through this stuff that I've already taken pictures of. We can maybe get some admin-y stuff out of the way. So we can get back to the... just doing more of the making art than the sort of processing art. Let me dig up picture. I like the way these are layered. Sort of pseudo collaging. Macro collage, I guess. We're just taking the big pieces of paper and then, you know, layer the paper. Just making art, going down different tangents, all good. Let's put you a little bit like right there. So again, we're going to come back to this because I think we have a little bit more material we can work with. In the meantime, I'm going to take these. I'm going to, you know, leave these. Oh, that looks neat. But we're going to come back to this because I think there's more stuff we can do. I'm going to edit some stuff in the meantime so we can kind of get ahead of the glitch art streams because that's going to be fun. And then that's going to also inform the video art stream that we do, which will also be fun. And yeah. So let me see where we're at. Okay, so we've been going for a little bit. Let me see who's live right now, because I would like to raid into somebody. If anyone has any suggestions for people that we can raid, I am all ears. That is, in fact, all I am. Yeah, I'm looking to see who we could raid. And we're like... Okay, so like 1 more minute. Do we want to punch up a little bit? Oh, hey Coyote, how's it going? You just caught us kind of right at the end, but... Actually, let me give you a quick recap. So we have been taking... So actually last time, all this stuff, we did the Liquid Light stuff. And then I took some watercolor paper. Let me zoom in. And then I made stills out of it, right? So, so we have the watercolor paper with the still, like the liquid light stuff that's kind of, you know, watercolored into it, which I think is pretty cool. However, we have a lot more stuff to work through, so I'm gonna let us knock out the rest of these next week, because I think there's a lot of interesting material here. Then in the meantime, I'm gonna do some editing so that I can get through the minutia of making stuff look even more good. And I think that's it. Yeah, so I'm going to actually switch over into our outro. So I'm trying to figure out who I want to raid. And I think I know who. There is a streamer that I'm a big fan of. And I'm going to see if we can go ahead and raid over to them. Where are we? I am... Sorry, I'm doing this on a laptop. In a spot I usually don't stream in. Where are we? Stream manager? Where are we? You know, we're just going to do... Let me go back to mine. Sorry, I swear I know what I'm doing. I don't, but... It's sock pens. We're going to do /raid. If I can find the button. There we go. /raid. Sock pens. But again, thank y'all for hanging out with me tonight. Look forward to seeing y'all next time. And I guess, I don't know if we really have a raid message. This has just been kind of a chill stream. But, hey, I hope you all have a good night. Thank you and bye. Actually, let me do that. Let me see how long it takes. Oh, we can't raid it this time. Okay, that's... We can't raid them, man. You know what? I should have tried that before. You know, I don't know what I'm doing. Let's see. Someone else... I know Sid is going live in like 30-ish minutes. So I do suggest you all check her out in a bit. And what about Skullvolver? Let's do Skullvolver, sure. He typically does art stuff. Let's try that. Raid Skullvolver. Alright, are we... Alright, we're going to Skullvolver. Alright, well, hey, thank y'all for joining me. And I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.